All right, everyone. Here is the Dyson Pure Cool Me air purifier. This is Dyson's smallest air purifier that they currently own. And this one is good for personal spaces or even small rooms. Now, right off the bat, this probably doesn't even look remotely like an air purifier. If anything, it looks like a light, or we can even say a robotic eye. That's what it looks like to me. And it's just really a cute little unit. I can't say enough about it. This has a remote right here, which does on and off, filter life, oscillation, timer, and 10 fan speeds. It doesn't always like to clip on well, but if you get it in the sweet spot, it does clip on. This is actually to adjust where the air flows, if you want it flowing up at you or down at you towards the floor. You have the option. So it more or less serves as like an adjustment. There is a wall wart with this unit. I don't really like this. This is the only downside aside from the remote, which I'll explain in a little bit. It's just so big, it's almost impossible to fit it into places. And if you plug it in here or your outlets are a certain way, it can easily fall out. I haven't had that problem down here, but I know in some spaces where I've tried out using this, the plug would fall out. Now, more or less, it might have been because it was loose, but just something to note. It is definitely a big and bulky wall wart. On some of the bigger models, it's housed on the inside of the unit. But since this is very small, there's really no place to put it, so they had to put it over there. I'm just assuming that. I'm sure you're probably already aware, but this one does also use a brushless DC motor. And it works really well, very quiet unit. If you'll just give me a second, I'll show you what the filter looks like. Just a minute. It's not easy to do with one hand, but you can definitely do it. Inside is where the fan is, and this is the Hepa filter. And carbon filter. So just your standard Hepa filter and carbon. There is no ionizer at all in this unit, just filtration only, which is nice. I'll just put this back on if you'll just excuse me again. This is definitely not the easiest to do with one hand, but you can definitely do it. Oops. All right, there we go. So there's two ways of using this unit. You can either turn it on with the remote, or there is a button on the back. Now the button only controls on, off, and if you hold it in, the 10 different fan speeds. You can't do the oscillation or the timer or the filter life indicator, just two functions. So oscillate 70 degrees. This is it on low. And you can't even hear it. This is 2. Here's 3. Four. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, and this is 10. So towards 10, it does make a little bit more noise, but for the amount of air it does push, it's not bad. Now this is it blowing air downwards. That's air flowing out of the unit, not downwards, but just up. That's it without oscillation, and if you actually notice here, I'll turn this down. Displays everything. I'll show you the button on the back, which is just a standard little power button. You hold it in. It's definitely not as easy as using the remote, but in case scenario you lose the remote and you still want to adjust the speeds and nothing else, you can do that. But anything else, I recommend keeping the remote with you at all times, as this is basically how you control the fan. Now this little eye up here will show you the filter life indicator. Meaning that it's very good. And there is a timer too, which actually, let me just reset it. It goes from 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and 8 hours. And it's hard to show here. Maybe I can trip the sensor, the light sensor, but let's see if I can. If the room gets dark, this display shuts off. I'm just not sure if I can find that sensor. Oh, there we go. So you don't have to worry about that staying on if you like sleeping in the dark. And overall, not a bad unit. So that is the Dyson Pure Cool Me Air Purifier. Thank you so much for watching.